down. Do you want to count it down or I'll count it down?
Yeah, you can count down.
Okay, I'll count it down. Is it my show tonight? I guess it is.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do three, two, one.
I'm captain of my boat with billions of dollars and bitches surfing the waves of champagne that flow, flow, flow like the Matrix code. I'm never getting old, just riding in my boat. Damn it, I'm the goat. All you guys try to be like me, but you can't be me because I'm me, bitches.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Friends of Zeus podcast. This is episode 244, I believe.
And then
Um,
there were two.
and then there were two. There's only two of us. Everyone else they've got things
Doing
going
stuff.
on. Yeah, I don't know if they're on, maybe they're doing other podcasts behind our back, Des. I don't
Could
know,
be.
but
Could be.
you
Rude.
know,
Feels rude.
yeah, we got to get the band back together. But tonight, wanted to dive in a little bit, and I don't really know what to call it, but I guess for short term would be the Manosphere, which sounds pretty exciting, right? Sounds like it's out in space. There's
Sounds like a
moons.
like a ride, like a carnival ride. The
Yes,
Manosphere.
the Manosphere. You get on, there's no seatbelt, and it goes like 100 miles an hour. But so we're going to talk about things related to that, kind of a little broader. We'll see where it takes us. But kind of the jumping off point that we had was the recently released documentary on Netflix called Inside the Manosphere by a guy named
Louis
Louise
through.
Thoreau.
It's through.
Through. Yeah. I don't know much
Through,
about.
I mean, I think. It's
Do you know
through.
much about him as like what he's done? I don't.
Louis through. Yeah, actually he got his start. Why do I know a lot about this guy? I don't
I
know.
don't know. It's
Random.
amazing.
But
Yeah.
he got his start actually working with Michael Moore. Joe
Mm.
Michael Morris,
Hmm.
which
Oh yeah.
I don't
Roger and me and
share the same political views as Michael Moore.
yeah.
And some like namely Sicko and Loose Change, I believe. If you
I don't remember Loose Change, but I loved Roger and me, and there's a few of his movies I liked. Yeah. He's a good
so
filmmaker, even if you disagree with him. He's a good
but they're
storyteller.
interesting.
Yeah,
They have
exactly.
and you can kind of see like both
Hmm.
sides. Like, I don't necessarily agree with his interjections, but like this stuff is true. Like the thing about Sicko
Hmm.
and the Loose Change, it'll have you asking some questions. So
I'm wondering if he did that. So is this Louis Theroux guy? He was involved with Loose Change?
I don't know if he was involved in Loose Change, but that's Michael Moore's how he got his start in
Okay,
documentary
okay.
filmmaking.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
he's done all sorts of documentaries over the years. He's done a lot. He's half English, half English,
Half
um,
English.
half American maybe.
Oh, gotcha.
So he's got that British
French.
accent,
Yeah,
but like is American. Like comes and
gotcha.
does a lot of stuff in America. So these documentaries aren't just about stuff that's overseas, doesn't really involve us.
Gotcha.
He's done things like he did one about like basically drinking yourself to death. He did one about like um dementia
Mm,
patients, stuff like
hmm.
that. So he's done a lot of things. And so this is the most recent
Yeah. I
story he decided to
I
happen
mean,
upon.
I would say, I mean, again, this is not a review of the movie, which,
Mm.
here at the Friends of Zeus podcast, we do reviews. We've had, I mean, it must be, 20,000 requests that came in through our mailbox for more movie review shows. But anyway, so this is not a movie review, but it is a good jumping off point. And I have to say, I don't know this guy. I couldn't say I liked the movie, uh, but I thought he did a decent job because it was something I didn't know anything really about, and it was an introduction. So for that, I got to give him some kudos.
Mhm.
But what did you think?
I think that well, so I also watched a couple other of his documentaries just because I tend to like documentaries.
Hmm.
So I watched the one on dementia and I watched another one. I don't remember what it was. But they're typically not that long. Like I don't feel like Like I need a good hour and a half, 2 hours. Because
Yeah.
that's, otherwise we're just surface based. And I feel like
Yeah.
this is very surface based. It was
The
just kind
the
of
man
exposing
the
all of
manosphere.
them, all of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, I thought it was a little surface.
So in specifically the Manosphere one, it's just exposing the worst of the worst, basically. Like it doesn't really encompass
The larger
the
questions and
larger, the overarching is this toxic for society and our young boys theme. It's just
hmm
showing you the bullshit on the internet, kind of.
hmm Yeah,
And
like it's
so it could have been better.
well, it's one of those topics where it's hard to even talk about because it's like, do I believe that there is a dearth of traditional masculinity in our culture today? 100%.
What's dearth
How
mean?
a reduction,
Degradation? Okay.
yeah, like not enough. Um, but then the devil's in the details because then you have to define, okay, well, what does that mean? And to these people that are in this documentary and that are like what Desiree's saying, the extreme, the online crazy people,
Andrew Tate.
the Andrew Tates, the people that are in like the content economy, which is I don't know if I coined that, but I've been saying that lately. But anyway, unlike uh
Content creator, which would be what that
content,
would be.
yeah,
Content
content
creator.
creator. But I could say like yes, there is definitely I have an issue with how masculinity is I don't not taught, but just sort of treated in our culture.
So let's talk
But
about
doesn't mean you would agree with all this other stuff necessarily. People can believe whatever they want, but it's not like you have to take the whole chicken, right? You can have like the
right,
the wings. Anyway,
right. You don't have to eat the whole cake. You can just eat the
yes.
frosting if you want.
Ex
Um, or just the cake. Who,
or just the cake.
whatever. I
Yeah,
do the cake. I like cupcakes, and I like to break off the half end and then put it on the half on top as like a cupcake sandwich.
that's
That's the
diabolical.
best. Anyway, so what is the
I'm gonna
manosphere?
do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
manosphere. So this is a term really for, like you were saying, some people would look at it as just a group of men that are toxic masculinity. I don't agree with that. However, back to, the viewpoint of others, um, this idea of men that are they're they're very masculine and muscular and like that's all they want to do. They're gym bros.
hmm
They're all about the hustle. They're making money, making money, making money. Want to fuck bitches, but don't want to have a wife that's ever fucked anyone else. Like
Yeah.
kind of that's not worth that's like not that's
Like
unclean and why would you want to marry somebody? They want a submissive wife. They're leaders. They make the rules. They determine the value. It's all about them and themselves, and we just live in their world, kind of
and
thing.
and they are at least that one guy, the scene where he has his girlfriend or his wife is Angie and he
Hmm.
asks her to leave. Like
Hmm.
his body language is he is uncomfortable. He is uncomfortable with her expressing any thought that he is
Hmm.
not 1,000%,
And
you
if you
know?
look at so the people that the characters that were in this were somebody named HS Tiki Taki. I've never heard of this person.
Me neither.
Somebody named
Speedo,
Sneeko,
Sneakio. Yeah.
something.
Yep.
They talked a little bit about Andrew Tate,
Yep.
and there was one more I thought.
Well, there was like HS's Toady, like the guy that follows him around. He's like the shorter guy with the blonde
Toady.
hair,
Yeah, the
and then
filmer guy.
there was another one, but I can't remember his name. But anyway,
Anyway, doesn't matter.
doesn't matter.
He's on the Fresh and Fit podcast, whatever that is.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So if you notice, like when he would talk to like their girlfriends or whatever, every single time they would look at him first and then speak.
Yeah,
Did you notice that?
I did. And they definitely did not. It was not. They were not interested in extemporaneously speaking. Angie kind
They
of
wanted to
veered
look
into it.
to, I'm going to look at you to get
Yeah.
a cue. Can I speak?
Yes.
I'm, if somebody asks me something, I'm not have to look at Craig. I don't need to look. I don't need
Yeah.
his permission to speak or his permission to what the fuck he thinks I'm gonna say. Like,
Yeah.
he doesn't know what's gonna come out of my mouth, honestly. I might look over at him as I'm speaking,
Yep.
but that's more of a pull you in or like I'm looking at you to include you in what I'm saying, or like, do you agree? I'm not looking for permission. In fact,
Yeah,
I don't need permission for shit. So,
it's especially if it's something where, this guy, that guy, whatever, the Angie's man,
mhm.
whatever, he
Even a
invited this film
secretary.
crew, even the secretary, yeah. But he invited the film crew in. So if
Hmm.
I was them, I'd be like, okay, you don't want me to speak, but then you want me to want them like whatever. Like they should have had that conversation earlier, in my
Hmm.
opinion, if it was that big a deal. But yeah, it's definitely a lot of insecurity. I mean, the ironic part is you see these guys and they're driving around in their, Lambos. I love it when they call them Lambos. Anyway, and all this stuff, and these, ladies just hanging on their shoulders and all this stuff. And yet they had come across as so insecure.
Hmm.
They're fronting, but they don't act. They don't sell it. They just don't sell it, which I think
Hmm.
is just very strange. It's very odd. Like
Yeah, it's
I
like
was,
they're not comfortable in their own skin.
yeah, that's what it seemed. I mean, I watched like half the movie like this. You know what I mean? Because I was just like, I can't believe what I'm seeing.
So hold on just one more second. So Andrew Tate, they did cite Jordan Peterson in here. So
Hmm.
would you think Jordan Peterson fits in with these guys? See, I don't necessarily, but he is part of the Manosphere. Just like guess who else? Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn. They would be included in part of this.
Yeah, it's a big
But they're not the
definition.
same. So it's very broad, the
It
Manosphere.
it's basically, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's like I
Kevin
would want.
Samuels and Nick Fuentes
It's
also. And
it.
Myron Gaines was the fresh and fit guy.
Yeah, to me, it's too broad. Like, if someone is coining this term manosphere, I need it to be a little more specific than that, because that just sounds like a list of people that just drives certain people crazy. Like, it doesn't, there's so little the same between
Charlie
Jordan
Kirk would have been
Peterson and
included, rest his
HS.
soul, you know?
I
Charlie
know,
Kirk would have been included in this. I mean,
but
it's
how is
just
Charlie Kirk like HS? It's like apples and oranges. I mean, these guys are totally different. But
because
again, I know they, yeah,
all of it, don't, no matter how, crazy their thoughts are, they all surround like men kind of the more conservative value. All
yeah.
of these men are conservative.
I think that's what it
Conservative
is.
men value of the traditional men are the leaders and women are the caregivers
Yeah,
in
I just,
in whatever relationship type
it's just
situation.
weird having it couched that way because I don't know. Like, again, it's like one of these things where, oh man, and I'm just being sarcastic here, but paraphrasing these guys in this documentary, it's like, man, society's really gone like way too feminine, and there's less than half of the people in college are men, and men are being held back, and all this stuff. So
Which I agree with all of that, just
I
so you
do
know.
too. I do. But I'm saying, but then their answer is to go and become Genghis Khan. Like, it's like, come on, man. Is there any is there any way between here and 11 that you can settle on? It's just that's human
Well,
nature.
also, I would say like maybe like Joe Rogan, Charlie Kirk, Jordan Peterson. Who else is the other one? The other
I mean,
guy.
everyone at Daily Wire probably,
Yes,
Matt
yeah.
Walsh.
Those people are maybe like in the category of sharing Theo Vaughn's. They're sharing with their opinions. These guys in this documentary were doing it for the clicks.
They're
That's
doing
what,
it
and they said that a couple of times. They're like, yeah,
100%.
I don't really hate Jews. That guy over there is a Jew.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say it because it's controversial, and if you clip that, put that on the internet, somebody's gonna look at it because it's so fucking wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna
It
say it.
it's just being tethered. They're so tethered to the social media and having people clip things and getting likes, and it's like they're not even living in the same reality as
Hmm.
everybody else. I mean, that's the other thing. That's why I was kind of watching it. I think that's why I was thinking it was like a Black Mirror episode, because they were so cutthroat with like who is using who, and this content economy where it's like, why are you going to film this? Because it's content. Like, even if it's attacking somebody or disparaging someone, like, it's just content first. And then sort of like, well, if you need to like stretch for content so much, what is it that you're even saying that's valuable? You know what I mean? Like, in other words, a lot of these people I know stream, right? So there's a immediacy to it. Like,
Mhm.
oh, HS, he's going to start streaming at 7:30. I'm going to watch it. So it's kind of like, but I mean, how many people are going back 6 months later and watching these? Unlike Francis Zoo's podcast, where thousands, we have an entire library,
Right. But
you know?
that's why I was saying in the text thread, like, nobody is that's on the internet scrolling, doom scrolling is gonna click on some normal shit.
No,
I'm not
no,
clicking on normal things. I'm
right.
not gonna click on a family eating dinner.
Yeah. I mean, we've
Oh,
we've found that out
cool. Like I
with
do that too.
we have seen that. I mean, not there's no proof, but we've seen that over the course of the over the years with certain thumbnails that we've done that are a little
Hmm.
controversial or like kind of crazy or whatever, that they automatically get more clicks, you know?
Hmm.
So
Titles
I
of
get it.
news stories. I mean, things like just that are maybe not even true, or maybe leave a little
It
part, two words out, and can change e- entire meaning of what that means.
yeah,
Like it'd be like Dairy Queen is closing. And then you
yeah,
click on it and it's like, Dairy Queen is closing its dining room for a remodel for 2 weeks. And you're like, okay, that is not the same.
yeah.
But
I mean,
I
that was
clicked on it because I want to know why the fuck Dairy Queen is closing. I like that place.
they never say, yeah, it's like famous actor
Dies.
dies in a
Fiery blaze.
avalanche. Yeah, and
No.
then it's like Topeka Kane Dabo, like some Indian guy from Bollywood that you never heard of before. And it's like, damn it, why did I click on this?
I know. Now I probably got a virus.
Yeah.
So back to the
Yes, yes.
minister. So um what kind of Louis Theroux kind of was
Hmm.
trying to say but didn't really get that point across at all was that they target for these manosphere folk is young boys.
Hmm.
Or that's who's maybe that's not the target audience, but that's who's consuming it.
Yeah, I don't know if they have a target. They're just, who
They're just
knows?
out there.
Yeah. I mean, I get the young demographic always gets the most ad dollars though, right? Because they're the hardest to hold their attention.
Hmm.
They're not watching Matlock, right? They need
Yeah,
something
but
like,
that's exactly what I was saying. Like you got to say the right shit.
yeah,
And if you, uh, I can't even fault him for saying that either because that's true. I mean, if that's your business, if you're making money off the internet, you got to make money off the internet, and that's how you
right.
do it. So I mean, like you can't even really fault him for that. But anyway, so how toxic do you think this manosphere, the whole manosphere, not just these guys, these freaks,
I
'cause
don't think
they're a
it's
lot.
the, yeah, I don't, I think I don't really see what they are doing. It's like when we talk about people that dress up um as something they're not, it's like I don't view them as being masculine. I view them as like putting on man face or something. I mean, it's like a cartoonish depiction
Hmm.
representation. It's like when that movie
Like a
300,
caricature.
like a caricature. It's like when that movie 300 came out and everybody was like, man, because they're all just walking around wearing like gilded underwear, like I think
Hmm.
the whole movie, and they're all
Hmm.
like bronzed and ripped and everything. Zeus,
Magic Mike.
Zeus loves 300.
Oh, one
300,
second.
yeah.
He
It's his favorite
watches it.
movie.
He watches it, and he's like Howard Hughes with Ice Station Zebra. He just won't stop. Like, repeat loop again and again. I don't know why,
Sorry.
but anyway, I don't even know where I was going. But anyway,
Carl,
I
so
don't.
before we get too much further,
Yeah.
Carl, what'd you think of, did you watch this film?
Yeah, I did. We watched it last night.
Yes.
It disappointed. I think that's the word. I wasn't sure what I was getting myself into, and I didn't think it was just going to be hyper focused on three influencers,
Mhm.
like, and that's it.
The
Yeah.
bad actors.
And then his indictment of like these completely extreme influencers, and then whatever his thesis was, I think was overblown because again it was three influencers
Hmm.
Yeah.
and he kind of lumped them in. Desiree, I overheard you while I was waiting for the dog to stop whining here,
Oh.
and you kind of nailed it. Like, I mean, he conflated them with all these names that he only mentions and doesn't really show any content about, which are completely different. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Hmm.
and then, like you just mentioned, like I remember what's interesting to me, like you mentioned Jordan Peterson.
and his mass appeal to men and how that was such a big deal back in like 2019, 2020. And the left, or people, I shouldn't say Thoreau is the left, but he certainly comes from that
He
side of
comes from the
things.
left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, people on the left were comparing Jordan Peterson. One guy who worked for Marvel Comics compared him to Red Skull, who was a Nazi,
yeah,
because
I don't
because
like
he
Jordan Peterson, but that's neither here nor there.
no, I know, but he encouraged men to like live by these rules that would improve their lives and
yeah.
find hope in hard work and
Make your bed.
doing good things.
Yeah,
And he was labeled a Nazi because he was getting young men to listen to him, even though he was lecturing for 3 hours on history and philosophy. You had these like 20 somethings actually tuning in to a
yeah,
lot of his videos. I mean, so it was kind of amazing.
yeah.
Now, why are young men tuning into these morons instead? I don't, Desiree, maybe you nailed it. Like if people are scrolling Instagram, they're going to land on the most outrageous shit. Like, as I was asking my significant other here. I'm like, if I'm a young man, I don't want to watch other dudes work out.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Like
Yes. Good
that
point.
to me is like 300, like you said, Mike, like
Yeah.
which is a film I've never had any interest in watching. Like I've never seen it. You know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
don't get that part of it. And I think he was really, I don't know, his attack, let's just call it what it is. I mean, it was a hit piece. It seemed like it was two pronged. One, he was objecting to like the things they had to say about women, which were pretty extreme.
Hmm.
Okay. And then the fact that they were doing things to monetize. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, one, they have every right to say outrageous shit about women on the internet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course.
And two, of course, they're going to do something to monetize. That's how they're making their living. So I just kind of walked away from it like, okay, that's what they're doing. These three guys, like, you know what I mean? Like,
What,
it
what
didn't
did,
affect. Like, I didn't judge them. I just was kind of like, it's not my jam. Like, I wouldn't. And then, okay, now I have sons. So now, if you ask me, would you want your boys listening to these morons? Then obviously not. But some of the things they were saying about the way men are treated and depicted over the last 50 years was not wrong.
Right.
yeah, like anything, there's a kernel, there's more than a kernel of truth in
Right.
some
And
of the
there's
things
also
that they say.
something called backlash. And that's what we're looking at.
That's a
That's
great,
like if you call me if you call like conservatives racist, Nazis, misogynists for like years, some of that's going to crop up.
yeah.
It's just going to, and that's a sad reality. But you're going to breed resentment, and these guys, I think, are feeding into that resentment that a lot of men in this country feel right now.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think,
so
do you think they're true believers, the two of you? Do you think these guys, because I didn't know, like I thought they were, and then the guy's like, well, I'm not really like this, and my mama will slap me or whatever. And I'm like, so is it all a put on, or are they like, what am I seeing here? Is someone
I
behind the
think
I
curtain?
think they actually act like that. I
yeah,
think that's
But
really what they are doing.
yeah,
Do I think that they actually believe what they're doing?
that's who knows?
Who knows?
And
I
does it
mean,
even matter?
it's weird because they're like, let's say, like they say all these misogynistic things about like women and hoes and body count, but then they roll with these Instagram OnlyFans girls
Yeah,
who are
but that's
porn
the
stars.
thing. But that's the thing. Like it's not
It's like Snoop Dogg. He's got all
that's
his
cool.
bitches or
We
whatever.
can,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
that doesn't just because you are doing. So do you guys know who Bonnie Blue is?
Yeah, she's the one who slept with a
She's
thousand people. She's in the
yeah.
movie.
1,057 men for
She's
12
in
hours.
yeah, she's in the movie.
She's in
Okay.
the movie. Yeah.
Okay. Briefly. I didn't know if you caught that. So,
How
yeah.
many? That's a
So
lot.
I
Wait, 1,000
mathematically
men
I'm
in 12
confused.
hours?
1,057.
Yeah,
I did the
hold on a
math.
second.
I'm very
In
confused.
a day. Yeah.
In 12 hours.
Oof.
I thought it was 24 initially, but and that math was even hard. But I mean, this has got to be a two pump chump every time. This cannot be
Yeah.
fun. But anyway,
No.
um my I digress. However,
All right.
but they don't want to be with that person. like they're not going to seek out Bonnie Blue as a significant other.
Right.
But that doesn't mean that you can't have hot bitches in your pool. Doesn't mean,
Right.
they're going to be your wife.
Well, and also they were getting a cut of what these girls on their
That's
sites that were linked through
Hmm.
them. They get so they're like, they're like pimping.
Hmm.
But
yeah.
that's the whole knock on Andrew Tate. And I think he's the guy that these guys are all want to be emulating because he was like the first one to come out and basically have this behavior and these attitudes and preach this message. And then they were all like, "Oh, let's jump on that because Andrew Tate's like a multimillionaire now." And so they're doing it. And I guess there's a market for it because now instead of just Andrew Tate, you've got HS, TikToky,
Tiki-taki.
and Sneeko,
All these
and
other people.
all these other people doing the
But
same thing. The
and
ginger guy, whatever his name was with the
oh
car.
yeah, that guy.
Yeah, that guy with the
Yeah,
in
that
Huh.
guy who also
Louisiana.
had like a main squeeze and three kids.
Yeah.
So how much is he really living what
Oh
he's
yeah,
preaching?
but he's not monogamous. Monogamous.
No,
Monogamous?
it's a one
One
way
one way.
monogamy. Yeah.
But
It's really
they
yeah.
also I think this is just my opinion, but I think she benefits a little bit from that too, because that must be
Oh,
a kink for her.
well,
Mm,
yeah, he said they had threesomes
yeah.
and look
Yeah.
and she's the queen bee. She gets to live in the expensive house and
Hmm.
has his children, so
Hmm.
she's gonna, that's like almost like if she wanted to walk away and like get this guy's money, he's got to pay support for these kids. And I
Something,
guess
yeah.
although I thought they said they weren't actually
They're
married,
not.
they're
But
not.
but
Okay.
she would still get yeah,
Yeah.
he wouldn't get away scot-free. It's not a
No,
yeah,
he would
that
not. No,
yeah.
he would not. You know
But
what else I thought was wild was like the frenetic way like these guys live, the gotta go, gotta stream, gotta put out content. They all looked like really stressed out people to me.
good point.
I mean,
Yeah.
they looked a little touched. Like even the kid Sneeko, who found, Allah and converted to Islam, and I guess his content's a little different now. You know what I mean? And I was blown away by doing this since he's 15 years old.
Yeah.
That's a pretty industrious young kid,
Hmm.
man. Like to
Yeah.
be to turn himself into like a billion followers, like by the time he's 22 or whatever.
Yeah. I
Yeah, I
mean,
thought it was crazy.
I want there's a couple points in the movie and we talked about some of them like the mother just before you were here, Carl, the mother that
Yeah,
points out that the director is playing swimming in the same pool as what he's blaming her son for. Um,
yeah,
but the thing that really got me, like where I really looked at it a whole different way was when that Sneeko guy, or I think that was him, or HS, they were crossing the street and like those six or seven, like 12, 13-year-old boys were like acting like they just met Derek Jeter or something.
Sneeko,
yeah.
what up?
I mean, that like hit me. I was like, wow, like that, like I don't care what these guys do, and I'm with you. Like whatever they want to say, it's America, it's the internet, and these kids, I guess, it's just weird to me. Like I was like, wow, like I really don't know anything about this. Like when you're like, there's this thing going on. I don't know who this guy is, but all these kids do. These are
Yeah.
like middle school kids. What the
Yeah,
hell's
no.
Or
going
that one group
on?
of kids did.
But
Yeah.
I think yeah. I
Or
mean I
they're
think
paid
it's
actors. Who
indicative.
knows?
Who
Well,
knows? I hope
you know
so.
what?
I hope
But
they were.
I think the film would have been more interesting, Mike. I'm glad you brought them up because it's like this it's the sweeping indictment of these guys because they have such a young audience and they're getting them to invest in these companies or whatever access to money these kids have.
Yeah.
I would have been interested in seeing some interviews with some more like young fans and maybe their
Yes.
parents.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe the parents of these kids, like, do you know your son's watching, and that would have benefited the film. I
The
thought,
thesis. I mean,
yeah,
because again, like, I don't know if you were on yet, but I'm pretty sure what his overarching idea is that this is toxic to young boys, this
yeah,
content, or it's harming them
It's a
first.
hundred. It's 100%. It's 100% bad. Yeah. There's no redeeming
Well, I
qualities.
don't think it's 100%
No,
bad,
no, but that's his
but that's what his
thesis.
viewpoint
Yeah,
is.
he
Okay.
totally glosses over like, okay, how did this just happen out of nowhere, like in a vacuum? Like these guys are getting all these subscribers because there isn't an issue going on, you know? Of course
yeah.
there's
No,
Yeah.
an
he
issue going on. Of
Yeah,
course,
no, he
there's something.
basically he downplayed like whatever validity, any nugget of truth these guys might have had. He didn't really admit to any of it. And then I also thought it was funny how objectionable he found it that he was becoming content.
Yeah, that was weird.
Like he was all like freaked
What?
out by it. I'm like, dude, you're recording them for
For
days.
content.
They're recording themselves and everything they do. So why are
How?
you objecting to being part of the content? Like you are part of the content for these 3 days that you're following them around.
Yeah,
Yeah, why do you think they agreed to let you film them? For
it's
content.
Right.
it's funny that you brought that up too, because to me, I felt it was disingenuous. I felt like
Hmm.
the Luis Theroux, whatever.
Through.
I felt like he
Like
was
I
put.
threw a ball.
Yeah, I felt it was a put on. Like it didn't seem legit, and I didn't. You put it much better than the way I would have. But yeah, it was like, wait a minute, how could he not know? Like again, he's the
I'm
filmmaker.
pretty sure he did know because he said something about, I think whatever the first guy that they went to, I'm pretty sure he said something about like exchanging content for content
Oh,
as he
Yeah,
said
but
so he
before.
did know.
and he didn't like that the streamers were like coming at him because they knew where this angle, where this film was going to come from, and the audience was right. Okay, like it was a hit piece,
Yeah,
and they all called it. I actually got a kick out of the one when HS TikToky, who looked like he was losing it by the end of the movie with the
he did.
shaved head and all this,
Yeah,
when he was like using the audience as like to provide bullet points to him to embarrass Thoreau. At one point, he says, "Oh, Chris, let me ask you." Because he's getting on him about the anti-Semitism thing, and he says, "Let me ask you: Are the Jews committing a genocide right now?" And
Mhm.
Thoreau had no answer. He was just like, you know what I mean? Because he wasn't going to
yeah,
say anything bad, but he didn't want to, he couldn't say, you know what I
right.
mean? Like he was in that, what do I say? Because I'm with Palestine, but I'm really not because I'm in this industry and I don't want to say anything bad about the Jews. Like it was just
Yeah.
fucked
It,
up.
yeah, and that's like that's their currency is that they'll just say whatever. And that
Yeah.
is if you want to talk about how to hook a 12, 13-year-old boy who either, maybe he has a great dad, maybe he doesn't. Maybe he feels, a certain way at school or whatever. And to have someone just tell it what they view as it is, like, man, everyone just BS's me. And this guy, on
Mm.
social media, he's not scared. He'll just say the craziest shit. Like he's telling the truth, right? That's what it feels
Right.
like. That's what it feels like. And so I mean, that is something that the director was shown to be a hypocrite on because he's not
Hmm.
like that, and that's a great point, Carl. Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
I also wondered, I was like, well, the one thing they were talking about, they mentioned the Matrix and the red pill. And the whole red pill movement is this kind of return to quote
Conservative.
unquote masculinity and conservative, manhood or being a man, whatever it means to be a man. And I'm like, I said, all right, if this guy is really influencing people, like the two young Hispanic men
hmm,
that like adored the guy,
yeah, the one was homeless.
I'm like, okay, so what is this really doing? It's gonna maybe foster some negative viewpoints of women. Okay, I get that, but are we gonna have a generation of really fit, built young men who get into real estate? Like, what are we talking about here? Like, how do you get off the matrix? How do you not just have a day job? How do you become a rich person? You know what I mean? Like what exactly are you going to do to go about doing that, and
Yeah,
are you going to work out 6 hours a day just so you can be buff and pick up women? Like is that the message here? Because
for your whole life.
for your whole life, right? That's what you're
Well,
doing.
I mean, we've
this
been able to sustain it, but not everyone can.
this
Yeah, I
stuff
know, man. I
though,
worked out
honestly,
4 hours today.
the Manosphere has been around for a while in just, in different clothing. Like not necessarily TikToks, but you would go to like these gurus about like how to pick up women and dating coaches and stuff, though that
Pickup
era.
artists, pickup
Pickup
artists.
artists. Yeah. Okay, that's a manosphere, I guess, person or group of individuals. Then there's like the good old boys. You can put them in the manosphere. You know, like it's like any type of conservative viewpoint is it doesn't matter what it is. That's
Like
what it is.
Jordan Peterson 6
Manosphere.
years ago.
Yep.
Right.
Manosphere.
Yeah, because it's easy. Look, it's a easy. What's the old Marxist thing? You identify the target, and then you focus all your propaganda and attention on the target and destroy it. So it's sort of like, it's like they're doing the same thing with. They do it all. Everyone does it all the time. But you define your own terms. You say this one thing is horrible, and this group is that they're doing that thing. So they are
Yeah.
de facto horrible. So it's like
But I
all the
mean, even
manosphere
like,
stuff hates women and it's totally horrible. And just like
Right.
Jordan Peterson and just like Donald Trump, and see, they're all the same,
yep.
and it's like, no,
But take like
Yeah.
working
They're
out.
conflating it.
yeah,
So gym bros, I mean the gym bro culture, whatever. They're just gym bros. They're dudes, they're groups of dudes that like to go to the gym. A gym bro. That's what that is. But I mean, working out is not inherently bad. I mean,
yeah,
No.
it's good. It's actually good for you. Like,
yeah,
yeah, you should develop that habit to going to the gym. It's a healthy habit. It could be an unhealthy habit. It could be if you take it to the extreme, if you're doing
steroids.
steroids,
Roids.
if you're doing
Yeah.
it 9 hours a day, if you're, taking laxatives, just shit your brains out so you don't have any water weight. I mean, that's too far. And that's kind of what this whole documentary was. It's like the too far
It's the too
of the
far.
manosphere.
Yeah.
It's the too fars. But like what? So, okay, I have a young son. Carl has young sons. What, how do I want to say this? When you think of your boys today, what do you think society as it is now has done to
Mm.
masculinity
Well, it hasn't been good. I mean, the
overall?
whole term toxic masculinity, the way they try to teach it out of boys now. I mean, it's the American Psychology Association actually has like a whole section on re-education of toxic masculinity. I mean, that's facts. Like they basically completely vilified just being a boy, period. It's
Hmm.
different. It's not like when we were growing up. I mean, it's discouraged.
Yeah.
Being boys is discouraged. And, I remember when they had that Gillette ad years ago,
The best a
when
man
things
can
were,
get.
yeah, but no, but this was like they
Pretty
they
soft.
they vilified men and they painted them in this picture of being misogynist or trying to pick up girls, looking at women sexually, being racism. Like they conflated all that into like basically manhood
Hmm.
Mm.
to tell the audience, yeah, don't look at girls that way. Don't try to pick up women. And I guess I don't know. It's weird. Like, I mean, how is that taboo now? Like, boys can't like talk to girls. Like, that's
I don't
bad
know.
now. Like,
Right.
Well, because of feminism, how
well,
what
yeah,
is it? What are we in third wave, 18th wave,
fifth
Yeah.
wave. I don't even know.
Something.
third, maybe an extension of third wave.
It's like
But
a, yeah.
we have like, I don't know. When I was talking to Drake about this today, about this whole thing, I was like, how do you feel about things? And we'll get that all in a second. But I really feel like feminism has really beaten down boys, like to to like tamper down their manhood. Don't know, you don't need
Yep.
to open a door for a woman.
True.
Consent. It's all about consent. Which, okay, but God damn, can you like be spontaneous and like have a fun time anymore? Like you can't even do that anymore. Like it's just because it's been hammered into their brains like woman doesn't want you, woman doesn't want you, she doesn't need you, she doesn't need you, you better get her permission, but you can't control her, you can't control her, like and what like I guess the argument is like women are born with value, men have to earn it. That's one of the arguments that you could say. So if they can't be a man and provide for their family and their wife or their, that typical role in society, what value do they have? I'm not saying that men are unvaluable. I'm just saying like to themselves,
Right.
if they can't do those things, women, we were born to make babies. We could do that. We're equipped the day we're born to do that. Well, eventually. But you know what
Eventually.
I mean.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if men can't do those things, and to them what's their value.
Well,
Well, it's like
yeah,
first wave feminism, right? A woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. At some point, that was drilled into society's collective brain. And, you know what I mean? And it's just not true. It's patently false.
yeah.
You
Well,
know,
look,
if you, it just is. If you need something heavy lifted, if somebody bangs on your window at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know what I mean? Like there are times where you need a man. You want to have a child. Guess what? You need a man.
That's true.
yeah. I mean, like if you have a sewer line break and it's flooding the Potomac River, not a lot of ladies down there. Not
Nope.
a lot. I drive by it every day. I
And I
don't
don't
see
want
any
to.
ladies. But
Want to.
Yeah,
But they
building
could,
skyscrapers,
and they
working on
should.
oil rigs.
and
They should
again,
be the ones down there doing it. No, they
it
shouldn't. But okay.
no, they shouldn't. And yeah, I'm not saying that like, I'm not the one down there. I'm not down there either. And I'm not saying that men need to be patted on the back. I'm just saying it just at least needs to be acknowledged. Like, let's have an honest. Everyone's always talking about like we need to have a conversation. I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah,
let's
so here's the
have
conversation.
a
Men and women are not
conversation.
the same.
Yeah, which
We're
is
equal.
great
We're equal as human beings,
and legally,
but we are not the same.
which is fantastic.
And I
That's the
don't
thing.
want to be, I don't
I don't
personally, I
either.
don't want to be the same.
Yeah, I think it's horrible. I
And so
mean,
like these when you think about the manosphere into all of this, like okay, if society has created this, I guess, viewpoint of men and masculinity and being, you know, you can't be a man anymore, damn. Like you can't even do manly stuff
Yeah,
without it
unless
being,
you're a woman.
unless you're a woman, without it being viewed as toxic, well then shit, what are you gonna do? Can you
well,
like, gosh, like you don't even know what to do. So now young boys are viewing this content, although it might be a little bit out there, like they're just like, yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. Like
It's
I'm
tapping
supposed to
into
be a man. Like that's
that part of the
manly.
brain. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I think the thing that kind of happened because again, I'm trying to remember exact years, but when I was in this would be like the early 90s. There was a period, I don't know if it was second, third wave, but there was a period that I remember very clearly, which was, men and women are equal, but women are better. Like it was, I don't know if
We
you
are. We're
remember
better.
this, Carl.
We're better.
I know, but it was sort of like all the commercials on TV were like the bumbling dude and the girl that
Every
has everything
sitcom.
figured out, every sitcom. And I was like, I saw it and I was like, man, that's really lame. That's annoying. But what happened during most of our
Well, men go
lifetimes
or
is,
what is it? Boys go to girls go to college to get more knowledge and boys go to Jupiter to get more stupider. Duh. Or
I like
better.
that. Yeah, that I never heard that.
You never heard that?
I never heard
No, I
that.
never heard that.
That was like one of those clap songs we used to do in the fucking
Oh,
schoolyard.
Patty cake.
well,
No, not patty cake.
like
Miss
cheering.
Mary
Yeah,
Mac
yeah.
budget, like
Just
one of
in
those.
black, black, black.
Mm,
But
yep.
anyway, the thing is, this ideology, the somewhere it permeated into the schools and into the curriculum, and
Yeah.
like little Johnny needs to sit down and be quiet and can't run around because you need to behave. And then, oh wait, start seeing all these other issues with young boys overreacting to things pop up because they're being again, not to be like, man, when I was a kid, but when I was a kid, when we go out to recess, we used to beat the holy crap out of each other.
Hmm.
I mean, I went to a parochial school, so we had ties. We would like grab each other's tie. I mean, probably strangle each
Yeah.
other, like throwing fists, like playing rugby on a gravel parking lot. I mean,
Hmm.
what I'm saying is, it's like I don't think you can do that anymore. And the reason we did it is because it's like you're like 10, 11-year-old boy, you got to run. It's like having a dog. You got to let it run out in the yard or whatever.
Hmm.
But anyway, all this stuff um it I'm trying to think of the word for it. They developed medicines to counteract it. They had
Yeah.
psychiatrists that were
Hmm.
like, "Oh, this is unusual. Your son is
Hyperactivity.
there's we can medicate it. We can name it. We can medicate it. He can get
Which,
into the
by the way,
pharmacy system."
disclaimer, ADHD is real,
I
but
know,
I
yes,
don't
of
think
course
that
it is.
this is different. But anyway.
I'm just saying it was a huge industry, put it that way.
Hmm.
I mean, there's a reason why how many kids were on psychoactive drugs, in the 70s versus now. And I know
Right.
some need it. I
And
mean,
how many people? How many
and
people
how many
do it?
people? How many
Right.
people in general? I mean,
Yeah.
it was things that men things that were manly, quote unquote, were made illegal, not allowed, suppressed, put down, made fun of, mocked.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how we got to where we are now. So when someone says, "Do you believe there needs to, men need to be more like men?" I'm like, absolutely. Like it disgusts
Hmm.
me when I see these, videos or see someone getting attacked and like everyone's recording it, and I'm like,
Where's the
where's
men?
the men? You know what I mean? Like that's what
Yeah.
where are they? Like all this stuff going on where people are getting victimized. I'm like, where are the men? Where are the people standing up and being in the breach? Because again, we're the drones, man. You know what I mean? Like the hive, like we fly out, like no one cares about us, you know? I mean,
No,
if
but you
we
know what?
die, but
When you do see those videos, it's the women going up and stopping it.
I if you nowadays
If you see that, it's and okay, so cool. I don't want to, first of all, I don't want to stop it unless I have to.
you
That's
don't
not my
want to
job.
what?
I don't want to have to stop the thing that's going on. I don't want to stop the fight in
And
the park.
look, I'm not just talking about just violent. I'm just saying like man, no one stands
Hmm.
up. Everyone's afraid. Everything's litigious. Everyone's like, oh, I can't do anything. Oh, you can't say I'm offended to say that. I can't say that. Oh, political correct speech, like all that crap. And that's why a lot of these, like the Jordan Petersons and the comedians, like Chappelle and all these guys, get in Rogan, they get so much traction is because they don't play that game.
Hmm.
They're just not playing the game. They're not like these influencer guys that go totally hog wild, a
They're
hundred
playing a
thousand
different
miles.
game.
Right.
These guys
They're
are
playing
just
the clicks
not
game.
playing the game. These guys are just not playing. They're saying like, no. And that's kind of my attitude personally. I mean, I'm not
Mhm.
like oh man, men's rights were so I don't that's not my jam, but I don't have a problem calling a spade either because I'm just like well, I'm not kowtowing what I'm saying for people. You know what I mean? Like why would I do that? I mean, obviously I'm not going to
Yeah.
purposely offend somebody just to offend them. But I'm
Yeah.
also not going to say something because I think it's going to offend someone.
Right. So good thing you said that. So what do you think, what kind of roles do you think should be in a marriage? Like two people, you and your wife.
It's yeah,
Kind of, how does is your marriage structured?
Yeah, I would say it's well, having been in two of them in my life, I can tell you they're different, right?
Yeah.
Which is great. And you have certain situations where the man and woman are very similar in personality and have a lot of things that they do the same, and then that can create blind spots. And then the other side would be people that are very different and they complement, each other. But I think at least for our generation, traditional roles are really still there. Like if there's a problem with the car, my wife will take it to the mechanic, but if it's like something we need to figure out or what, I'm doing that. And if it's Thanksgiving, she's coming up with the menu for Thanksgiving or what have you. And it's not like we sat down and said, this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like it really freaked me out in that movie when the guy's like, I would never even change a diaper. I was watching it with my wife and I turned to her, I'm like, changing a diaper is awesome. Like, how could you like not change? I mean, it's your kid, man.
I
Like
don't
you
want to
got,
change the diaper.
I'm not saying I want to, but I'm saying like at least once. I mean, what do you mean never? Like the kid's sitting there, you're out, there's someone has to change it and you're just not going to do it because it's not
See, that's
manly.
what I'm saying. Like that
That's
was
totally
extreme.
stupid.
Like
Yeah, that's
they're
totally
your
Yeah.
stupid.
children. You should be a parent. Like it
Yeah,
doesn't matter
that's
what gender roles you're having.
they're like
I didn't
playing a
even
role.
I didn't even necessarily buy it either. I think that was all just
Yeah,
I
the
think yeah, play he was playing yeah.
yeah, I think it was shtick.
I
Yeah,
hope
because
so.
his kids sure seemed like they liked him, like he was
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, well, I would say that my relation very similar, very conservative, um, values, I guess you can say. I think, but mine, I don't know. I'm a little bit more extreme, like in the fact that like I'm totally listen. Here's how my relationship goes. Craig makes money, and I don't. I go to work for fun, basically, because it fulfills me and it gives me something that I like to do. Um, I don't even know how much my car insurance costs, to be honest. I mean, I'm I'm very much like I'm very much taken care of,
Hmm.
and I like that. Like it's not that I couldn't do it because
Right.
I've been in situations where I've had to hold us down, but like, and I can do that, but like. I just I just I just like not having to be responsible for anything. I'm
Yeah.
just a girl and I don't know. But yeah,
I
but
don't buy it. I don't
I'm
buy
fine
it.
with that. I'm
Yeah.
fine with that.
Well, but
No, you
that's
And
know what? I
also, but at
think
the same time, I can play like because he's like in the world he's in he's in, like a lot of like the upper echelons of like the stuff and like politics. I can play that part good too. I'm a good arm candy. And I can
hmm
talk and I have interesting things to say and I'm not stupid.
right.
Like,
No.
so hey, that works for us. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No,
no,
there's
there's nothing
not.
wrong with that.
No, not at all. And the big thing is it works for you guys.
Hmm.
I mean, it doesn't, that's why it's hard to find somebody because you have to find someone that, not only, it's not like a handshake, like we can build a company together. There's passion, there's love, there's like flirting, there's all this other
Hmm.
stuff that goes into it. But at the end of the day, if you're going to have a child or if you're going to have a household or whatever, you kind of do have to like have some lanes. And I
Yeah.
guess we do. I mean, my wife and I do, but I don't think it was ever anything that we decided. Like I'll still cook. It's like we both vacuum. Like she's a much better negotiator than I am. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we both do. In fact, the biggest thing that we say is our if we have an issue is that we're too similar because we do have some blind spots because we're very similar personality wise. But whatever. I mean, that's
It
the
works.
joy. That
Whatever
works.
works.
Whatever works. Exactly.
But I mean, like, there's also, you can get into like the whole like explicit part of it too. Like
Hmm.
in this documentary, they were talking about like basically, when I want sex, I'm getting it. And so that's my choice
Yeah.
kind of thing.
I know
That's,
people like that.
but listen,
Yeah.
I'm not saying,
I mean, that's fine. Yeah.
I, I'm gonna take out all the abusiveness of it. Okay, that we're not talking about that. I'm not talking about people that are inherently beating their wives and fucking doing
Of
whatever. I'm
course.
not
Of
talking about those
course.
people. However, I believe that I gave the word consent went out of my vocabulary the day I said I do. Like that is not, I don't understand. Like, so, but it's not like he's gonna come. I, I wouldn't say it's like how they're saying it.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
not
well, I
like,
want to, but it's like maybe I don't know. Maybe they're just touting that, you know,
no,
but
I
it's more
think
like how,
again, I think it's kind of a put on with them because, I mean, yeah, I don't want to get too, I mean, it's not yeah, like you're on the phone with your mom like talking to a neighbor and then it's like, "Okay, it's time."
I know. Then you could be
Like,
like,
it's not like yeah, I mean that's what they
while
make
you're
it
on the phone with
seem
your mom.
like. Yeah,
Or
that's
you
what they
could do
make
it
it.
on the phone with your mom, but you got to be
I know
quiet.
that's
Either
why
way.
when I was about to say it, I was like, I probably shouldn't say this because someone's gonna be like, yeah, that's a good idea. I don't know. There's a lid for every pot, right? I mean,
Yeah,
isn't that
totally.
true?
And if
But
these
there,
guys, well, yeah, that's was it. There's an ass for every seat. I've heard it said that way. And and if these guys, if their whole message is, look, if you're rich and successful, women will come at you and they'll want to be with you because you can take care of them and this and that. I mean, if you line up 10 women and say, okay, how would you like it? How would you like to be married to a guy who's so rich that you can do whatever you want? You can work if you want to, you can raise the kids if that's all you want to do. I mean, how many of them aren't going to sign big? Oh, okay. As opposed to struggling, having to go to work every day, barely having enough money to buy bread. You know
yep,
what I
having to
mean?
go
Like,
to having to figure out who's going to do watching these kids. Like,
Guys, when I was single, if a woman came to me and said, "I'm going to make all this money, I just need you to stay home and take care of the
yeah, no shit.
chihuahuas." I got 20 chihuahuas. I'd be like, "Yeah, man!" Like I'd have been like
see,
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
but
in.
I think some men, like for example, Craig he's very like he is a provider. Like that's all he finds value in like providing the
The
stuff, the
stuff.
house, the structure,
Yeah,
the life.
that's a
Like
Yeah,
traditional male role. Yeah,
that's how he you
It's
know,
also
shows his
very
masculinity.
it's
It
gratifying.
it's
It's gratifying to
fulfilling.
be
Yeah.
able to do that. Like I forget who it was, but I heard someone say something once, and it was like when if you have a little boy and a little girl, and you ask the little girl, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" and the little girl says, "I want to be a mommy. I want to have babies and raise a family." And
Hmm.
it's like it's lauded, it's applauded. It's like, okay, honey, hopefully that'll happen for you someday. That's a good aspiration to have. At least it used to be.
Yeah.
If a little boy says, "Oh, someday I want to grow up to stay home and take care of the kids while my wife goes out and works," that's not going to
Yeah.
fly
Yeah.
in this society. It's not, you know what I mean? It's not a role that men are ever encouraged to pursue. I mean,
Right.
it's the
Hmm.
opposite of what we're encouraged to pursue, which is to hunt and gather and
But
provide.
would it make you feel less masculine if that was the role that you were in? If you were the
100%.
stay-at-home dad?
I mean, if I'm
Same.
Probably,
honest,
yeah,
I'd like to say no, but 100%. Yeah, I mean,
yeah, no, absolutely.
I mean, that movie, Mr. Mom, with
Hmm.
Michael Keaton or whatever.
Oh,
Like,
great
yeah.
movie.
I mean, like, if I'm going on a golf trip, right, in a couple weeks for a few days, and like if I'm on the golf trip and it's like, hey, how's it going? Like, I had this at work, I had this at work, and I'm like, man, I just the post office is just keeps losing my clothing catalogs, or I mean, whatever. It's like I need to get a new stove. I mean,
Hmm.
it's just not gonna
I need to get one of those.
it's just gonna feel weird, right? Wouldn't it? I mean, I don't know. It's not like I spent a lot of time thinking about it, but
Yeah,
it wouldn't be fulfilling to me
there
because
you go.
I'm saying I was half joking that I would jump at it, but yeah, you throw enough money in 20 chihuahuas, I have to think about that. But in general, long term, I don't see how that would be super fulfilling. If that
Correct.
did happen, I'd have to like start doing something to kind of do my own thing,
Yeah,
on the side, like be a
like you
writer,
Yeah,
would work build tree houses or some shit like
start
that.
a
I don't know.
podcast,
Hmm.
correct.
yeah,
Make
hope
bonfires,
make
man, make fire.
bonfires.
Yeah, Zeus says we're going to explode one of these days, like one of these influencers. So maybe that'll
Yes,
happen. I keep waiting for
Well,
that to
maybe we could
happen.
start
get
saying
in.
all this crazy shit.
People need to get in on the ground floor here, man.
No, man, seriously, we got 5 years of content. We need some people to start watching the content.
You know what? You know what? I hate Paraguay, man. Paraguay sucks.
I don't know where Paraguay's at.
Oh, I'm just trying to
I
be
don't know since I live
relevant,
here.
Controversial.
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 Yeah.
Fuck
So I
Paraguay,
asked my
man.
14-year. So, okay,
Yeah, what
Carl, let me
happened?
ask you first. What have you talked to your sons about this type of idea or anything like this before? I mean, what do they think about society today or
You know what? I wish I had. I'm seeing them this weekend, and this is a good topic to bring up because, and I think I will because I'm curious what their thoughts are because they're all very. I don't know. They're not like these. They're not any. They're clearly not influenced by anything like this. Like I know that
Oh,
they're just
great. That's good.
they're soft spoken. They're mild mannered. They're good kids. They get good grades. Two of them have girlfriends that they've had now for one for a couple of years, one for over a year, like steady girls.
Yeah.
I've never heard like a misogynistic type word come out of their mouths. Nothing negative about girls. None of them is like, I want to be a millionaire. I'm gonna do this and like, you know what I mean? Like they just kind of like
They're grounded.
they're on their career path. They're interested in pursuing for a living. And it's nothing like that. They're not gym rats. They're music guys. They're musicians. You know what I mean? They've been in band. They were in band, not football. You know what I
That's
mean? Like, so
Mhm.
awesome.
that's who they are. And I know that they're aware of people like Peterson and Ben Shapiro and some of the political guys because
Shapiro?
I
That's what I was thinking of earlier. Good.
but they're not. We've never discussed like Andrew Tate or any of these guys who, by the way, I've never heard of. I'd never
Hmm.
heard of these
Me
guys
neither.
going into this at all. I didn't know they were a thing. And you would think I would have at least heard of Sneeko because he had so many, but I'd never heard of him. I don't know who these people are, and I'm pretty sure my kids don't. But Des, I'm going to ask them because they are. I know the two older boys are on Insta,
Hmm.
and I know like my significant other has Insta, her daughter has Insta, and I see the real watching,
Yeah.
Hmm.
the nearly constant
The
real
scrolling.
watching.
Yep.
which I guess Facebook has Reels too, and so does YouTube.
All
So I
all
could,
social media platforms do,
yeah,
yeah.
so I could do it as well, but I just don't. So I never see these people. And if I did, I'd want to see like funny stuff, like people falling down or
Dude,
like,
I love people falling down. I love the doorbell cam videos on TikTok. It's my favorite shit.
yeah, I think I would like that. But
Like
you
falling on
know,
the ice or falling off a
and then
ladder.
and like YouTube, if I even click on a reel, because I follow the web, because there is algorithms to YouTube. I do agree with that, Tor. YouTube does have algorithms.
Yeah,
We were talking about the news, but that's different.
right.
So YouTube Reels, it'll always be political shit, and
Hmm.
I just too much is too much. So I
I
don't
just
even
want to
go to
watch funny
Reels.
shit.
Yeah, I want to see funny stuff if I'm going to do it, and so I don't do it really. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly,
It's
but my kids, I'm sure, do. So I'm going to
Mhm.
ask them about the
plus
Sneakos and the Andrew Tates, and because
well,
I'm curious, Desiree. I mean, you bring
Mhm.
up something I should. I don't get the vibe that they are into this stuff though at
but it
all.
would it would be interesting though, just because even if they're not into it, it's likely they've heard of them or they have friends that are into them and they're like,
Mhm.
that's stupid or whatever. They probably have some knowledge of it, would be my guess, even if they're not
Yeah,
into it. And it would
no,
be,
Okay.
and I wouldn't be surprised if at least my two older boys have watched this documentary.
yeah,
I wouldn't be because Netflix is promoting the shit out of it, so you
Hmm.
can't turn Netflix on without seeing this.
Hmm.
So it's going to be a topic for discussion this weekend. Good,
So I asked my 14-year-old.
yeah. What happened?
So first thing I said, do you know who Sneeko is? Or Sneaky or whatever the hell is Sneeko? Weird question, I know, but do you know who he is? And he's like, um, yeah, I mean, I don't like follow him because I'm not on Twitch, which he had to know. I mean, I didn't say that. He knew that that's where his platform is, Twitch. So, I
oh,
mean, he
okay,
obviously has seen some stuff.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, well, that's fine. I mean, you don't have to follow him, but like you've seen him on like Reels. And he's like, yeah, I mean, like there's clips of it and stuff on there, but he's like, why? So, I kind of told him that, oh, I was just kind of wondering if you saw him or what you thought about his stuff or whatever. And he's like, well, I mean, he just like workouts and works out and stuff and drives cars and he says stuff, but I mean, he says some weird stuff. So, I mean, I just like, whatever, I just scroll.
yeah,
And I was
and
like,
that's
oh, okay. So do you agree with what he says? And he's like, well, I mean, no. That's what he said. That's what I said.
yeah,
I said, okay, what about Andrew Tate? Do you know who that is? He goes, yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you think of him? He's like, that guy's misogynistic. And isn't he like in jail for like trafficking? And I didn't even know that. Like, I didn't even really even
yeah.
Yeah,
realize
It,
that.
he's facing charges in Romania.
Yeah, that's exact. Yeah, he said he's the Romanian guy that's getting in trouble for trafficking.
maybe
I
maybe
was like,
this
damn.
maybe this whole thing like with these influencers is like Judas Priest was where like the PMRC or they were trying to say they were causing kids to kill themselves and stuff like that and I'm sure it was like a dozen kids somewhere but the vast
Right.
majority of kids like if kids were a little too into Priest they were like that guy's a little weird or whatever. Maybe that's what it's like for this
Mm.
generation, the people that are like really into that. Yes, it can be dangerous. Yes, it sounds horrible, but maybe the majority of kids are like, yeah, that's stupid. But the guy has like 5 billion followers or whatever. So
Well,
someone's watching it.
then I said, so if you saw this guy on the street, like, what would you do? And he was
I'll
like, well, I'd probably go up and say like hi because he's famous, but I wouldn't like dap him up.
tap him up, man. Yeah.
Which is basically what those kids did. They dapped him up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, sure. You don't know that because you've never met anyone famous, but I mean, okay. I mean, you might.
Yeah. You may.
I don't know. I've never really met anyone famous either. I might freak out over the fact that I'm seeing someone famous, no
Yeah.
matter who they were. But so there was that, and then we kind of got on the conversation of like, okay, well, how would you feel if like your wife was a neurosurgeon and you was working at McDonald's or whatever? And then he, was like, is it true that some out there think that they wish feminism never happened? So we got in this huge conversation. It was a good
I'm
conversation.
sure. I'm sure there are.
I'm like, well, I'm sure, maybe the first couple of go rounds about it was fine, but it's just turned into something weird lately. I mean,
Yeah.
he's
well,
like,
what?
yeah,
Yeah. What
you can't
they've
really even say anything to girls anymore.
No, you can't, right? And also they like you talked about like how men and women are equal under the law, but they're not really the same, and that's a beautiful thing that they're not the same, and
Yeah.
that there are some natural roles that most men, and most women may fall into. And then there's obviously, outliers, and that's fine too. But this idea, when they've tried to blend, the whole trans movement is the epitome of this. They basically equated the sexes and the genders to where we're all the same.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're all
Yeah.
the same. And it's like, no, we're not the same. We're very different.
Yeah.
Like, I remember growing up, men were from Mars and women were from Venus.
Yeah.
And everybody loved, like, that was Oprah, and that was like, oh, this book is fucking amazing. It really breaks down the gender roles and how we should communicate with each other because we're different. And we are different,
We
man. We
are
are.
different.
Dudes don't want to get up and go to the bathroom together to talk. Dudes don't want to go shopping together to just browse and talk. Dudes don't
Mhm.
want to talk on the phone to the same dude every day.
Yeah.
They just
No, it's
don't.
true. It's true.
I mean, we're different, and,
Which
and
is
that's
great.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not a
you're
bad
supposed to
thing.
be. S-
I've got friends I'll talk to like once every couple of months on the phone, like, and then we text like, hey man, we got to get together. Yeah, talk to your girlfriend. Let's find out when we can all go to dinner. Okay, talk to you later, bro. And then I won't talk to him again for like weeks.
Mhm. So the other interesting thing that they kind of talked about was like, oh, I also asked my son if he's heard of something called the gender wage gap, and he's
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, and I said, do you think that that's real? That was interesting because I'm like, yes, he's not indoctrinated. He doesn't believe in the gender wage gap.
Oh, so he
So
wasn't buying it?
he wasn't buying it. He's like, no, well, he's like, well, when men do other jobs, like they're more willing to do like a lot of harder jobs, and so they work
Riskier.
longer.
Yeah.
They work
Firemen.
longer hours, so they're
Yeah.
And they're
gonna make more money. And
riskier
I'm
jobs.
like,
They're
oh,
Yeah.
climbing up
it's
telephone
logical,
poles.
isn't it?
Yeah. Literally. Yeah.
So I don't know. Anyway,
Sounds like a
so
good kid.
I know he's a good kid. He's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
gonna make it in his life.
You can brag. That's all right.
So
Absolutely.
can a woman be president?
Yeah, she could be.
I don't see why not.
Should she be?
I mean, it depends on the woman. If it's like Margaret Thatcher, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
I don't know what I
Yeah,
think.
I think that's true.
I
I don't
mean,
know what
And
I
they
think.
say,
look, I mean, I at least for our country, I feel like, whoever it is will get through. I mean, we freaking survived Biden. Or I think so, but
Mhm.
it seems like we did. But I think women there's plenty of countries in the world that have women leaders. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like we're asking her to go out with a sword and like lead the charge over the hill or anything like that. It's a diplomatic political position. So I mean, I don't see why a woman couldn't do
Well,
it
the
at all.
argument is that women are more emotional. They make
I've heard
decisions, more
that.
emotional
Yeah.
decisions,
Yeah.
which I could see. Like men just do the thing. Like they just do the thing, and there's no like, oh, okay, well, if I do that, I'm gonna kill a fucking bunch of people. That's really sad. Like, da, da, da. They just do it because it's
But I've
better.
known,
They're in it for the betterment of the family or the group of whatever they're protecting.
yeah.
They're not really they don't rationalize
yeah,
it emotionally at first, maybe later. But so I don't know,
yeah,
and I
but
think
you know
that's a
what?
good point. Like that is a good point, and
Yeah,
that is true.
it is Desiree, but again, like Mike said, it depends on the woman and it depends on the man because there's definitely some, what these guys would call
Little
soy
pussy
boy
boys.
beta men, and there's women like Hillary Clinton who has no compunction about bombing people and killing people, and what's her name,
Yeah. I,
Albright. You know what I mean? Like there are women in politics we've already seen that are pretty cutthroat, cold blooded, not making emotional decisions. I mean, like we've seen it.
Speaking of
yeah.
Hillary, so hold
Yeah.
on, I want to share this
And I
other thing
got
that my
something
son
too.
said
But
that I didn't even think of. I was like, yeah, can a woman be president? And he's like, well, I think a woman can be president. Hillary Clinton tried to be president. The only reason that she didn't get to be president is because people saw her as weak because her husband cheated on her and she didn't do anything about it.
that's
I said, what?
possible. Yeah.
Wow.
I
14.
mean, the thing is, look,
14. Good for
Maybe
him.
that's true.
it
Maybe
could be
that could
true.
be it.
And I'm glad that you said that because what I was going to say, and I'll say it now is, look, I'm certainly no fan of Hillary Clinton. However, when you say like it depends on the woman, if she would have won, right? If she was president, I have no question that she could do the perform in the office, right?
Yeah.
Because she's disciplined, she's savvy, she's wickedly intelligent. She's also like conniving and a snake, but whatever. But she could definitely do the job,
Yeah,
probably
I
better than
agree.
a lot of men could. But I just don't like her politics.
Correct. I agree.
I
But
think
she
But
could
if
have.
there's a man and a woman, like a president vice president situation, I think that would be the best
but
situation.
Well,
but
we
isn't
had
it?
that.
But we had
But
that, but we can throw that out because that was
That was
ridiculous.
but
awful.
but the thing is, you have. I mean,
Good
what we're
people.
saying though. I mean, if we scratch the surface a little bit, what we're saying is we want the president to have more masculine traits. So if it's a woman, it's a Hillary Clinton or Margaret Thatcher. We don't want the Sunday school teacher in there. We want someone that
I don't want
has
Melania being president.
right. We want someone that has like an edge to them. So there is some credence to that. I mean, maybe it's just tradition, but the thing I also look at, there's certain people that look at the fact that, we've had 47 presidents and they're all men, and that means the country's racist or sexist. But the way I look at it is how many women have run for president? I mean,
That's true.
now granted, there was years, centuries where it was just not going to happen. But whatever, it could have. Again, there's been women leaders of other countries in the 20th century and even
Hmm.
before that. Look at England, whatever.
Hmm.
But back when the monarchy like meant something. So it's not that it's like, why aren't people running for president? Why didn't we vote for them? I mean, we vote for all kinds of people. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah, I mean,
think
there's women senators and mayors and
maybe women aren't drawn to it in the same numbers. I'm not saying no women are, but if you have 1,000 people that are drawn to be president of the United States, I would bet you like 970 of them are men
hmm.
because
I don't
anyway,
want that responsibility. It's too stressful. Oh, it's a lot of work.
yeah, it's because it's not rewarded. It's not considered a feminine
Hmm.
trait. And like I said, Hillary Clinton, say what you want about her. She was not, Hillary Clinton is not viewed as like some like, super feminine, womanly person. She's viewed as a
Right.
ball buster.
But Drake made a great point.
Yeah,
That's how she is, but she didn't do anything about when
yeah.
Clinton did his
That's
sucky offy in the Oval.
very perceptive. Yeah, if she can't even handle Bill, what are we gonna do with
Hmm. With
man?
when it
Right.
comes to
Tell Drake that is a fantastic idea or a
Hmm.
fantastic
that's a
point.
viewpoint. I never
Yeah,
thought of that.
yeah. I
No,
Hmm.
love
he's
that.
right.
But anyway,
Man, I feel
yeah.
like there's more I can say, but I don't know.
Do you
I
think
mean,
we've been on for a while? It's
I
11 o'clock.
I
But
think yeah,
I
I
don't know
mean
when you guys started.
like 9:45,
Oh,
something
that's
like that.
about right. It's normal. Okay.
But I mean, I don't want to cut anyone off. I'm just saying personally, I feel like I've said what I wanted
Yeah.
to say. I was glad that you guys talked about your sons because that was one of the things I was going to ask, because I was like, that's a whole other
Well, what
perspective.
is your well, I don't know if your daughter's old enough to like
She's kind,
have an idea of what she wants to do when she's older, but like has she said
not
that
really,
like
not really. I mean,
Well,
I don't know. Yeah.
that's another thing too. I'm curious about like because the whole thing with these guys was the danger is that their mass appeal is the young audience, right? Like the teenage boys and all that stuff. What about the effect that women on the internet are having on young girls? Like all
oh,
these
the
OnlyFans
femosphere, the
girls.
spemosphere,
You know what I mean? Like
spemosphere.
how many teenage girls now are growing up saying I want to be an influencer?
Yeah. No, it's horrible. It's
Which
How
I
it's
much
don't
does
think
that
is
happen?
amazing.
hold on, but I don't think that's necessarily bad. Honestly, if you want to have sex on OnlyFans, I also don't think that's that bad.
No.
Might
Well,
be a little
not if
bit
you're
damaging. However,
12.
if you're doing it, no, not if you're 12,
Well, that's what I'm
obviously.
saying. I'm talking
But
about
if
like
you're
middle
aspiring
school.
to that, if that's your fucking end game, is I want to be a hoe on OnlyFans, I mean, that's probably
That's
not
a
good for society either.
that's a short road too.
Probably not,
Yeah.
but you know what? You're gonna be living it up in a house. I mean, that's not good for your mental health, but I'm just saying, not all influencers are on OnlyFans. We don't have to be on OnlyFans model,
No,
but
of
like,
course not. Of course not.
not all OnlyFans is porn. Most of it is, but
Yeah, most
Well,
of it
there's
I mean,
is.
you could be
also a lot of
an
people
influencer.
using OnlyFans. I mean, there's a lot of people that are on it. I mean,
Yeah.
I would have to suspect if there's a lot of people that are having channels and making millions of dollars, there's got to be a lot of people using
Hmm.
it.
There's a lot
But
of, I
like
mean,
the
and the destigmatization of porn that came with the internet and OnlyFans, because now you have nurses, school teachers, housewives, everybody's doing like they're touching themselves in private on peep shows online, like, and they're making money doing it, and it's like,
Yeah,
okay, it's weird, it's women's
it's
empowerment, yay! It's
which
like,
it's
okay,
not. Yeah,
it's really not.
I don't know if not necessarily empowerment, but like I'm gonna get my bag and honey gets yours
yeah.
too. I mean,
If
shit.
I mean, if you're an adult and you want to do that, I that whatever. But I'm just saying, but to have it be celebrated and to have it be exposed to middle schoolers and elementary schoolers, because look, if it's online, it is going to them, and it's like
Mhm.
adults that are like pumping this up, and oh, it's titillating, and it's so interesting, and it's like scandalous, and like the evening news is like next so and so school teachers on OnlyFans, and like little Johnny's like, what's that
What's
mean?
OnlyFans? What's
Or
Ashley
whatever.
Madison?
It's like, it only takes one person to piss in the pool. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
like, and I think that at least in my perspective, not just in this topic, but with a lot of topics, is I feel I see it, and when you have a little one, as you guys do or did, even though they're always little, right? But
Yeah.
it's you think about these things, like I said in another show, like if I didn't have a child, I would not be, I may be thinking about these things just because it's a mental exercise, but I wouldn't be passionate about it. I wouldn't be like caring about it, but I'm like, who are like, do I have to like look at these dudes that are going to be in her classes for years to come because they're like into, but I think the answer is no. I think it's a lot less of a deal surprise than they're trying to make it out to be.
Yeah, I think there's like 1% of OnlyFans models that make it big, and the other ones do it for like 5 minutes and then don't make shit.
And then they're done.
And they're in. But like it's not just OnlyFans like that. Again, that's the extreme. But like trad wifing. People say that's toxic. It's not for me. But I
Is it
don't know.
toxic?
Maybe you know what? I have a friend that's a trad wife. Honestly, like that's what she is, and that is what she's wanted to do her whole life.
Right.
She th-
Then
and
more
she
power
is
to
very
her.
she loves it.
Yeah.
Shit, she makes her own baby food and shit. Like, girl,
Look,
I guess that's too much work for me. That's what
yeah.
Gerber's for. But she thoroughly enjoys it.
There's
So
women,
that's fine.
there's women, there were women, like, again, this is even in the 90s, like hip chicks that would go to shows and stuff who'd like to knit,
Mhm.
right? I don't know any guys that like to knit. I'm sure there are some guys out there, maybe, but that's no one was like, man, we got to get more guys knitting. We got to close the knitting gap, the gender knitting gap. It's like it's okay. Just because there's a difference doesn't mean, it's horrible. And it
Yeah, and
seems like,
also there was a whole trad wife is this term now. But I mean, I remember growing up, like in the 90s, like you said, there was a woman named Martha Stewart who became a multimillionaire
Yeah, she's
basically talking
basically.
about how to prepare good meals and decorate your home nicely. Her audience was not men.
yeah, 100%. I mean,
Mhm.
Carl, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So this again
Yeah,
is
but
stuff
she.
that's frowned upon in the third wave of feminism or whatever. Like these trad wives are something to be made fun of. No, they're not. These are women that are doing what they want to do, just like the chick who's doing what she wants to do with her body by having an
Mhm.
OnlyFans page.
It's a great point.
I mean, give me a
Mhm.
break.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're just signified for. I don't. There is a difference between like being a stay-at-home mom and being a trad wife, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
just I
Some
don't.
But
people,
I don't
whatever
know.
whatever floats your boat. I mean, which one do I think is more wholesome, being a trad wife or being an OnlyFans model, masturbating in a peep show online for hundreds of thousands of people? I mean, honestly, if I had a daughter, I'd kind of be okay with the
more than
trad wife thing.
Okay, so then back to the Manosphere when those guys are like, yeah, I'd rather be with somebody that's like a trad wife. It's not mind-blowing,
No, it's not.
no.
So it's like I
Yeah.
don't really think
That's
that this
true.
is
That's true.
it's like they're saying all this stuff that's like kind of normal. They're saying a little bit aggressively. Ugh. But I mean, who doesn't want to have fucking boats, billions and bitches? I mean, honestly, like everyone, shit. I do. But I mean,
Boats.
boats, billions, and bitches.
Wait, that's our title.
And
Yeah.
again, when like when guys like Snoop Dogg were preaching the same messages, everybody's like, "Oh, Snoop Dogg's awesome. He's so great. He's in
Mm-hmm.
every commercial, right?" I mean,
Oh, he's got all these girls. Look at
he
these.
was promoting the same shit: boats, billions, bitches, and weed. That
Yeah,
was
Mm-hmm.
a Snoop
And
Dogg
drugs.
platform.
yeah.
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 Oh, and speaking of which, my significant other brought up a pretty good point. When you were watching this guy like HS TikToky and the other guy, it seems like there's drugs involved in some of the stuff that's going on. He looked coked out of his mind half
Oh,
the
yeah.
time.
100%.
And
Yeah.
the one guy especially, Myron,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah,
The fit.
Myron.
That's the guy with the Angie girlfriend.
He looks
that's
like, yeah, like
his
M.
eyes
Night
were
Shyamalan. He looks like
yeah,
M.
his
Night
eyes were always
Shyamalan.
bugging out, you know what I mean? And he was all yeah, so I was curious about that
I
too.
mean,
It
of
seemed
course they're up real late. They get up early. I mean, listen, like we can tell our viewer out there, we run a podcast. It's exhausting. It takes a lot of time.
Man, well,
I mean,
Mike's also he's
we
not just the host tonight. He's also the producer, the
yeah,
editor. I mean, there's shit
yeah, we
going
don't
on that
even
Mike's doing.
we don't even sleep. I mean, we have like meetings. Like we start the show on the previous Friday. We have meetings, talk about what we're going to talk about. We get together, we role play some stuff, then we invite in a guest.
A
I mean,
lot of
it's
I
prep.
wouldn't say role play. Maybe table. We
table,
table
yeah,
some stuff.
table read. We table read it.
Do
I
some
mean,
do some
and that's
brainstorm.
just our little podcast. I mean, of course, these
Yeah.
guys are exhausted.
Yeah. Well, I think in the end, to end this out, I don't think any uh, extreme of either way of a relationship, like you being equal and everyone can do the same things and move the same trash bins out to the curb and mow the same grass and we're equal and I know. And then the whole like whatever kind of relationships they were touting off like that's controlling, borderline abusive. A good mix of both, I think, is good, I'm not mowing grass, but also like you don't need to tell me what to do. So
Yeah,
Right.
you can make the money. What's yours is mine, and what's mine is mine. Come on.
Yeah.
Right?
Just like
Right?
a
Okay.
healthy
absolutely.
relationship, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah. Don't mistreat each other. That's a good start.
beat each other up.
I mean, I know we're wrapping up, and I don't mean to like start it all back up again, but there was definitely some mention in the show, and I would assume this has something to do with some of it as well, is like not having families that are intact or not having a father
Fathers.
around.
Hmm.
So again, it becomes this cartoonish exercise of, what it is. I mean, if you don't know, I don't know. I mean, if you don't have a father at all and you're a young man and you don't have like good role models like a coach or a teacher, neighbor, what your friend's dad or something like that. I mean, that's yeah, you have to have something. I mean, I'm sure women do the same thing too. You look at your elders to try and get clues on how to behave, right? I mean, and if they're not, if all the people that you're looking at are
Shit.
idiots,
Yeah.
that's bad. You
You're
know,
gonna
Hmm.
turn to the internet.
you're going to turn to
Like
the
these
internet.
yeah.
To get validation from someone. I mean, that seems like that's what they're seeking.
Yes, yes. Yeah, those two guys, especially the two that they interviewed a bit, and the one was like formerly homeless or unhoused. Um, those two guys, I really felt for them. You know,
Yeah,
Yeah, are you
they
they
talking
were
about the
they,
redhead with the Ferrari, I guess, and maybe he's talking about how his dad. No.
no, I think he's talking
no
about the two guys that were
the
like
the Hispanic
fans,
guys. Yeah,
the Hispanic guys
Mm,
that were fans of
one was tall
HS.
and dark haired.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one guy said his brother killed himself, and I got the sense
Yes.
his dad wasn't around,
Yep.
and like so he emulated this HS guy, like he was like
And
his
it's
hero.
and like never giving up and self improvement. It's like how are you going to get in front of that and be like, dude, that's horrible. It's like that's a great attitude to
Those things
have.
are good attitudes.
It's a
Yeah, so
Yeah,
fan.
if that's what you get from it, I
It's what's
mean,
going to get you out of the situation you're in, if anything is for
hmm
sure. I mean, and that's strong. I mean, that will endure that kid's whole life. I mean, how can you complain
just
about
like
that?
how whatever Jordan Peterson was like, make your bed. I mean, that's a good.
Yeah.
They teach that in like rehab, like drug rehab, because it gives you a purpose.
A chore.
You
Yeah.
did a chore, and the first thing you did in the morning was you completed that chore, that task, and it
Mhm.
makes different. It makes a difference. Like I don't know if that's the same plot like
I
idea Jordan Peterson was touting, but
I think
that's
that's
what they teach in
exactly.
drug rehab, huh?
Yeah,
Or
I
just
think,
put your shoes on. Put your shoes on.
Yeah.
and I
You can't
think
go outside if you don't put your shoes on. Like
you
you
have,
just got to do the first step, man.
yeah.
And if you do it every day, like if you get in that habit, it's gonna just be habit, and it's just
And I think Jordan Peterson, I think when he started talking about that, I think it was a reaction to all these people out there that are like, here's what you need to do to improve our society. Here, I know what's going on, vote for me. He's like, get your own house in order first. Like, what makes you
Yeah.
think that you can tell other people?
Yeah. Control your own environment.
yeah.
It's order over chaos, right? That's
Yep,
his whole thing.
yep,
Also, just let them. Like that theory, like the let them theory. Let them fucking be idiots. Who cares?
yeah. That's why we have law. Yeah, if it's not breaking the law. I mean, you can think it's not cool and ill-advised and evil or whatever. But again, unless they're breaking the law, it's like whatever. You can
Yeah.
dislike stuff.
The only thing that these guys were up to that I was kind of like was completely objectionable, completely was the thing where they were conducting like little sting operations
Oh yeah.
and then beating people up and
Oh,
putting
that was
that online.
horrible.
Well, not only that, whatever I know,
That,
YouTube's got these community guidelines that have booted off episodes of our show because they
yeah,
were like they weren't, we spoke things that shouldn't be spoken during
a-
COVID.
about Sri
Um,
Lanka. Yeah, or COVID.
Yeah.
so are there no such controls on Insta? Like I can just beat the crap out of
This is
somebody and
on
upload
Twitch.
it and it's okay? Like,
We're talking about Discord and Twitch streams.
oh, okay. So anything goes?
Anything goes, baby.
Wow, that's crazy.
Wow.
Like
That's great.
4chan. You know 4chan?
I've heard of
Remember
it.
that?
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
of
Well,
course.
hmm.
Yeah, I guess kids have access to all sorts of stuff when we gave them those phones. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the world we live in.
Yep.
Oh
Here's a
man.
Well,
stick. Here's a stick
here's
of
to
dynamite.
seconds.
Let me light it for you.
Yeah, here
Yeah,
you
yeah.
go. Have this.
Yeah,
Have
here's
fun.
no
See
parental
you in 20
controls.
years.
No parental controls. Here you go. Take
Oh
this.
my God.
Well, here, listen. Here's a hot take. I don't have parental controls on my son's phone.
I don't either.
However, every account that, like, you shouldn't have to have Apple iCloud. You have to have whatever. His YouTube, he doesn't like his YouTube is my YouTube. It's
Mhm.
logged in under me.
Oh,
So I see what you're watching. I can anytime, like, I don't even have to ask you. So you think you sneaky? You're not.
yep.
Because I
Right.
can see everything that you do. Haha. So I don't
That's
need
the way
parental
to go.
controls. I don't
Yeah.
need that scare tactic.
Yeah. Well, that is a control. That's a form that's monitoring. You know what I mean? Like you have the ability to do that. That's at least something.
And like also, again, I don't know. I mean, my daughter is younger, but like just engaging and having that open communication and not jumping down their throat about every little thing, and being open
And you
and
gotta
being
give them,
available. Give
you
them
gotta
some
give
rope.
them rope. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
They're gonna do, because if you don't, they're gonna take it anyway. So you might as well
Yeah.
just give it to them
Yeah.
so they can, it's kind of like it's kind of like letting your kids go outside in the morning and then they don't come home until after the streetlights are on. You gotta go out there. You gotta do it.
Yeah. And they got to go out in the woods like Zeus and find that porn.
Porn. You gotta find the porn in the forest. That's the rite of passage.
So I'm
We,
gonna I'm gonna
we
head out
miss
into
you,
the woods
Zeus. We
here.
miss you
Yeah,
very much.
we miss you, man. And with that, I'm gonna head out into the woods. So
Okay. All right,
every
everybody.
I hope you
Thanks for
find a good one.
thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
take care.
Take care.
Bye.
I'm Captain